Zelensky received standing ovation from EU Parliament in emotional scenes.
Here's a summary of the article.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky received a lengthy standing ovation before and after delivering an impassioned speech to the European Parliament. It came a day after Zelensky asked the European Union on Monday to urgently admit Ukraine to the bloc as Russia continues its assault on its neighbor. In his speech on Tuesday, delivered via video link, Zelensky condemned Russian President Vladimir Putin. "Every square in our country will be called the square of freedom. Nobody will break us, because we are Ukrainians," Zelensky said. The elected representatives of 27 EU countries applaud Zelensky. He also called on the EU to welcome Ukraine into its ranks. "We are fighting for our freedom, for our rights and for our survival. And we also fight to be equal members of Europe. With us in it, the EU will be stronger. Please, prove that you are together with us. Then life will conquer death," he concluded.
This post received a score of 68,000, with an upvote ratio of 91%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
On Sunday, the EU agreed to provide $500 million for arms and other military aid to Ukraine, which is the first time the EU has ever provided aid for military operations in its entire history. This is in addition to individual EU countries sending arms to Ukraine. They have also agreed to welcome all Ukrainian war refugees. Further, Ukraine just applied for EU membership, and it is now likely there are going to be formal talks on admitting Ukraine to the EU.
The very least that he deserves. These past few days have shown the man deserves his place in the history books. I only hope that he survives all of this, as does Ukraine itself.
I can't speak to his politics, 'cause I don't know them, American here, but his character is shining like a beacon in the night. Lesser men would have crumpled and ran long ago. I hope Ukraine gets all the support it needs to get through this.
He refused to manufacture evidence framing Biden's son for Trump's smear campaign, even as Trump withheld military aid that the Congress had approved and Ukraine clearly needed. That said quite a bit about his character.
This needs to be repeated and repeated until people who still support Trump realize he was and is a shill for Putin, and literally refused to give Ukraine the military support the American government, and people, had approved.
The same people are listening to Tucker Carlson say Russia isn't the bad guy, so I doubt it will help edit, for non-Americans, for context.
You mean, now, they want you to think Russia is the bad guy?
Yep, because Tucker told them, Putin never called you racists.
Holy shit. Tucker Carlson is swaying millions of shitty Americans by saying, Putin likes you just the way you are. You don't have to change for him, as long as you defend every awful thing he does. And it's working with Republicans.
There's no way in hell Tucker and the rest of his Fox cronies aren't getting paid somehow through Russia.
On one hand, it's reassuring to see so many nations united against tyranny. On the other hand, it sucks to be reminded that people often need a war, tragedy, and/or a common enemy to unite us.
Think of it this way. A common enemy or a common cause is one of the few situations where our normally untested unity is finally given a chance to prove itself, and so far we have proven to have become a fairly united world. I see it as siblings who always argue, but when shit gets real you know that family is family.
That's a wholesome way of putting it.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.